On today's video, we're talking about fitting exercise into your intermittent fasting regime. Now, if you're doing intermittent fasting, people often wonder, is it safe to train fasted? Am I going to lose weight? Am I going to lose muscle? Now, I've put up several posts about this, and it's a common misconception. It's understandable. You think that if you don't eat every 2 hours, if you don't have a protein shake as soon as you work out, you're going to be really skinny and you're not going to make any gains. And it's simply not true. If you look at the Muslim community, for example, they fast during Ramadan. Numerous studies have looked into the effects on lean muscle mass and shown that there's no decrease in lean muscle mass in these groups. Other studies have looked at people who do intermittent fasting protocols, and also animal studies have shown very little, if any, decreases in lean muscle mass, especially in 16-8 protocol. If you're going above 72 hours, then yeah, it's a concern. You don't want to be training for 3 days without having enough protein or having enough food in your system so that you can help with growth. But otherwise, it's not a concern. You just want to be making sure that when you are eating, you're getting enough calories and you're getting enough protein and you're getting enough of the essential stuff. You don't have to worry about when you fit in your exercise. Now, I'll give you a case study. A guy online called Gerds, a friend, he's been doing intermittent fasting. Initially he did it, and he does MMA, so he had his classes 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. in the evenings, and then he used to go gym in the morning. Now for him, intermittent fasting was very difficult initially, because when he was going to the gym in the morning, he'd be really hungry afterwards. Then he'd go to work all day, he'd wait until lunchtime to be able to eat, and then he'd have his training, and then by the time he'd get back from training, he didn't have much time. He'd kind of miss his eating window, so it really didn't work for him. But now he's doing it again, and he's actually changed his training routine. So now what he does is he goes to work, has a full day at work, and in his lunch break he goes to the gym to do his strength training, endurance training, HIIT training, that kind of stuff. So he's working on his fitness and his health, and then after that is a great time for him to eat. So he'll eat then, and then he'll go to MMA, and then he'll be able to eat after he does that, because he's eaten at 1-2 o'clock, so he can eat when he gets back from class, which is like 9:30 or 10 o'clock. And then that works really well for him. He's making really good progress. So you've got to find what system works for you. Don't worry about being too pedantic. The most important thing with intermittent fasting is the flexibility and the consistency. So if you're consistent, you'll make progress. Physiologically, you're going to be changing. And it's really important to understand that it's okay to be flexible. If one day you want to eat at 2 and the other day you want to eat at 4, you've got to make it work in terms of your lifestyle. If you've got a party coming up and you know that you're not going to be able to eat healthy, and you want to push back your breakfast so that you can eat later, so you don't have to think so much about what you're eating or what time you're eating, then that's another option as well. So that's the main benefit of intermittent fasting, is the flexibility. So let's talk about muscle loss. So if you follow my post, you've seen that I've gone from being really skinny to being really fat, and now I'm kind of in between, and that's all while intermittent fasting. So you can definitely make progress, you can definitely gain muscle. I'm just talking from my personal experience. I haven't had any problems gaining muscle, and also from other people's experience. If you think about some of the most muscular people in society that we know of, like The Rock and Terry Crews, these are all advocates. Hugh Jackman, these are all advocates of intermittent fasting. So don't worry so much about losing muscle, provided you're eating well within your eating window, you're going to be fine. And you've got to figure out your training routine around what works for you. So it may be training in the mornings fasted, and then waiting till 12, training in the mornings fasted, and then having some BCAAs, or having a protein shake if you feel more comfortable having something straight afterwards. You'll still get the benefits of fasting even if you're having something like a protein shake, but maybe not as much as you would if you just did a complete water fast during the 16 hours. So I hope that shed some light on it. This is something that I know I'm going to be continuing to cover in the future, because so many people have questions on protein and fasting and training fasted. So the most important thing is, remember, consistency is key, and there's a lot of information out there, but if you go back to the fundamentals, people have been fasting for thousands of years, oldest diet in human history, and there's a lot of people who we know of who do very well athletically in lots of different types of sports who fast, very muscular, and the whole Muslim population, Roman Catholics fast during Lent, Buddha's famously quoted for saying that he doesn't eat at certain times of the day because it helps him in his focus and it's led to his health. So although these guys weren't doing it for the muscularity, we know as a consequence of these massive communities that it doesn't have adverse effects on lean muscle mass. Okay, thanks for watching guys. Let me know if you have any more questions, and let's go on this health journey together.